I managed to smuggle a radio in, and we tuned it secretly. We listened to news about the wider world, and none of it seemed good. This was how the Robot King had decreed life must be, and the robot soldiers made sure the Red folk couldn't go through the new wall or ever leave the ghetto. But we still found ways to play and be happy. We went over to the orphanage, where there were loads of kids who'd been separated from their parents. Now they had Janusz to look after them. Janusz was a kindly older man with a woolly beard and round glasses. They knew they were safe to play because he would always be there for them, whatever happened.
잘 돌봐주지만 돌변했나 위기 상황이 닥쳐오자. 이미 빨간 옷을 입고 있는 그 차별 자체가 약간 위기 상황인데 근데. Z가 잡는 거, 사람 바꾸기, Shift가 키보드 사용하는 거였지. 고아원인가 얘가? 아이고 공이 나무까지 걸려버렸어. 내가 도와줄 수밖에 없다. 뭐 이런 얘기구만. 안녕? 무슨 일이야? 우리가 방울로 공을 빵 찼는데 올라가서 버렸어. 나무에 걸렸다는 얘기지. 너는 무슨 일이니? 다친 것 같은데. 딸기가 먹고 싶어요. 딸기가 먹고 싶다는 얘긴가? 딸기를 갖다 주면 되나? 달려간다. 딸기를 한번 갖다 줘 봅시다. 딸기 딸기야. 딸기 딸기잼 너무 맛있어요. 설마 했는데. 설마 했는데 이게 진짜였어. 요, 신난다. 공이 돌아왔어. 우린 계속 공놀이를 할 수가 있는 거야. 저 친구들한테. 야누스, 뭐야 너네들은? 비밀번호는 어떻게 풀었니? 힌트가 다 있던데요. 좋은 생각이 났구나. 따라오렴. 그녀는 치료가 필요하단다. 얘도 치료가 필요해. 열이 올라서. 약을 좀 훔쳐와주렴. 오케이. 약을 훔치러 가는 거야 그럼? 오. 아 저기 약이 있구만. 약을 먹는 이상한 거미 같은 기계가 있어. 안녕하세요. 무슨 일이세요? 약은 있나요? 약은 군인들이 다 갖다 바치고 있어. 왼쪽으로 가면은 여기서 변장을 하라는 얘기 같구만. 그래서 저 우주선 같은 걸 타가지고 예. 아 2인 합체구만. 2인 합체. 정말 통한단 말이야 이게. 그래, 수고가 많아. 삐용. 최신 기술. 아, 본부로 가는 그
We were resourceful as well as brave.
본부로 가는
Who would
기차편이라고 해야
imagine
되나?
we could build a robot disguise out of bits of old junk? A fake robot so good it could actually convince all the other robots. Why, we even managed to infiltrate the rocket that flew up to the Dark Tower where all the precious medicines were hoarded. What an amazing adventure that was. You think it's far-fetched, do you? You think it's unlikely us kids could build a robot disguise out of bits and bobs? You don't believe we'd be brave enough to go over the wall and into the forbidden zone? Well, perhaps I do
물론이겠죠.
exaggerate some details,
이음받침이
but we
빠졌어요.
were brave indeed, and we did our very best to steal the drugs. The orphans in Janish's care needed the medicine very badly.
저도 차 한 대 보내주시오. 앞으로 가자 임마. 알겠습니다. 검문소 같은데 이런데 중간중간. 고생이 많아 친구들. 자, 내 왼쪽에 뭐 볼 일이 있지 않겠는가? 청소를 하는구만. 달려간다. 끝났나? 해치웠나? 오! EXIT인가?
We went back to the orphanage with the drugs we'd stolen. Triumph! Success! Janusz was delighted with us. Many lives would be saved. He told the nurse, Irena, to administer the medicines at once. She had taken note of our bravery and thought we might be useful to the resistance. You see, Irena was involved in smuggling children, 2 or 3 at a time, through the wall to safety in the outside world. It was extremely dangerous. She hid kids in crates and sacks and even coffins, sneaking them under the electronic noses of the robot guards. Discovery would have meant instant death for them all. When winter came, she told the girl and I that it was time for us to embark upon a mission. A very artistic kind of mission.
아티스틱한 인물. 그러면 이게 지금 유태인 수용소 약간 이런 느낌인가? 빨간색 옷 입은 사람이 유태인. 폴란드였나 이게? 뭐더라? 나중에 그걸 한꺼번에 다 모아서 봐야지. 스케이트. 스케이트 딸 수 있나요? 네. 한 번 더 말해주면 안 돼요? 뭐라는지 모르겠는데요. 불과 풀? 뭐지? 시끄리 나무야? 이걸 말해준 거였어. 너무 순식간에 지나갔잖아. 시크릿 동록. 에이씨, 잠자지 말고 경비를 단디 서야 하지 않겠어. 할아버지, 스케이트 타도 됩니까? 기어가 부러져 버렸어. 빨간색 기어를 위해서 가져오려구나. 가만, 빨간 옷 가만. 춤을 춰라. 강제 리듬 게임이 돼버렸다. 살려주십시오, 형사님들. 제가 이렇게 춤을 잘 춘답니다. 저 같은 애들은 오래 살려야 이렇게 재미와 기쁨을 오래 드릴 수 있다 이 말입니다. 저의 이 현란한 춤을 보시고 부디 마음에 드셨으면 좋겠습니다. 다음에도 이런 기쁨을 또 드릴 수 있는 날이 오기를 기대하고 있겠습니다. 아직 스케이트를 얻지 않았기 때문이지. 완료했습니다. 놀러 나가도 되나요, 스케이트 타러? 잘했죠? 뚜메머. 됐나요? 눌러볼까요? 속도를 조절해서 포스터를 찍는 인색이었구만. 우리 마인짱이 생각나는구만 갑자기. 저희들 일 잘했죠? 놀러 나가도 되죠? 어떻습니까? 아찔하실 또 풀어야. 조장이 됐어. 뭔가 집에 들어갈 수밖에 없는 상황이 되는 거 아닌가. 위험했다. 어둠 속의 악동들. 스케이트는 그래 알았다 이 옛다 이놈들아. 스케이트 하나를 엄청 부려본구만. 요 신난다. 나의 현란한 발재가 아닌 잘 안돼. 언니 누나가 끌어줄게. 이렇게 샥 트리플 스핀. 오, 하늘을 들으리구만 이 친구. 추우니까 얼른 들어가야지. 얼어 죽겠다 저러다.
It was fantastic seeing the bright posters going up everywhere in the ghetto. They proclaimed the wickedness of the robots and told everyone how soulless they were. This wasn't the way things were supposed to be, the posters said. But times were getting even harder behind the wall. Every day there was less to eat. Then came rumors of a great supply of free food. Surely it couldn't be true. But the rumors went on getting more persistent. Yes, anyone could go to this place and eat as much as they liked.
허허, 불온한 냄새가 나는데. 배고파요. 내 앞에 있는 꼬마는 완전 닮았구만. 다음 오시오. 배고프다. 줬어. 들어가시오. 다음 오시오. 줬어. 들어가시죠. 다음 오시오. 저요? 줬어. 들어가시오. 하지만 난 못 들어가겠지. 넌 빨간 사람이 아니잖아. 안돼 안돼. 힝. 어떻게 하면 몰래 들어갈 수 있을까? 저 안에 군부대요. 네, 나도 이제 빨개져 버렸. 빨갱이가 되어버렸. 빨갱이가 되어버려. 신난다. 빨갱이가 됐다. 돌아왔어. 고생하시오. 가자. 나도 미지의 세계로. 누가 봐도 함정인 것 같지만 미지의 세계로. 안녕하세요. 줬어. 들어가시오. 드디어 만났다 이 말이야. 정정이었다 이 말이야.
It was happening all over the ghetto. We were all trapped and carried off. The Robot King had tricked everyone. I had disguised myself as one of the Red Folk. I wanted to be just the same as my friend. Whatever her fate was, I wanted to share it. The train sailed through the night skies, taking all us Red Folk far away from our homes. There was a place it was taking us to. A
진짜
camp
수용소로
that
가는
the
건가?
Robot King had created for us all.
격리만 하다가 수용소로 데리고 왔구만. 수용소부터 진짜 얘긴가 그럼? 절로 가 이놈들아. 기차에서 내리는 건가? 무서워. 힘내. 어딜 만지는 거야 도대체? 여긴 안쪽. 안쪽인가? 그나저나 로봇 병사들도 잠을 자는구만. 편지를 전하고 싶다 이거야? 가자. 잘 들어가시오. 간다. 총을 절대 안 쏘는 착한 친구들이구만.
We were hopeful and brave. We didn't give in. Soon we were eluding the guards on their flying platforms and making our way to the steam engine. We were too nimble and quick-witted for the clunky guards. Our minds were set upon carrying out our mission. Our mission of sabotage, rescue, and escape.
총을 잘 쓰라는 걸 다시 주의시켜주는 건가?
We clung to each other desperately as the engine went haywire, and then, kaboom! It exploded and hot shards of metal flew everywhere. There were enough escape pods for the others. We helped them parachute down to Earth, but there were no pods left for us.
자살구조대요.
Soon we were falling, screaming, towards the ground.
자살구조대구만. 자살 특공대라고 해야 되나? 여기서 사랑의 뽀뽀 시간. 네. 와 미친. 깼어. 달려간다. 야, 또 라이드하는 시간 신난다. 적도 쫓아오고 그래야 진짜 로봇들이. 잡아 죽일
We
생각을.
actually got out alive. We were somewhere deep in the countryside. There was a homely-looking cottage. The old couple who lived there were both wearing black and white. Our red clothes stood out a mile, and we worried they'd turn us in. But they brought us indoors. They showed us to their attic and gave us a meal. But we couldn't help thinking about her grandpa at home. He wasn't safe and warm at that moment. The next day, the old couple were concerned as they waved us off. We were returning to the city for her grandpa, facing almost certain
야,
death.
도시로 다시 돌아가. 특수부대원들 지리네. 아이고 위험하다. 돌아갈 수 없어 이제 우리. 아니 우리 다 이 모양이야 지금. 할아버지 내 빨간 곰인형 괜찮을 거야. 저상장 가보구만. 엄청난 가방에 사는 거지. 얘가 아니고 저 위에 건가 본데. 더 위에도 있나 본데. 제일 꼭대기에 있지 않을까? 당연하게도. 사람들의 울음소리가 나네. 되게 슬픈 느낌이구만. 저 밑에도 뭐가 치우면 뭐가 보였을까? 가방을 다 뒤져봤어야 됐나? 너무 안 뒤져봤나? 너의 인형을 받으련. 네. 집이다. 집에 왔어요. 할아버지는 어디 계시지? 설마 나 움직여야 되네 내가. 안돼 할아버지, 안돼 할아버지, 내 귀.
Her grandfather was gone forever, and we were alone, underground, hiding away from the horrible noises above. What was going on up there? Though the odds were terrible, the people fought back. even though some said it was hopeless and much too late. Their weapons were puny compared with their oppressors, but their spirits hadn't been totally crushed. They fought on, but there was no escape in the end. The last of the red folk were rounded up and taken away. We heard terrible noises as we squeezed through the sewers. I heard the full story much later. I also heard that there was truth in the old rumors we'd heard of the people beyond the wall, people who could change your color.
색을 바꿔야 돼 이제 다시. 색을 바꾸면 끝날라나. 레지스탕스. 아주 장난 아니구만. 아주머니 못 봤니? 그래 간호사에게 가보렴. 아주머니, 간호사 아주머니 들어가거라. 알겠습니다. 아주머니는요? 아주머니 미로에 있으니 가서 데려오라는 건가? 임무장을 받아서 나갈 수가 있는 건가? 예, 명령서가 있습니다. 명령서가 있구나. 지나가도 좋단다. 명령서가 있습니다. 알았다. 지나갈 수 있게 해주마. 달려. 앉거라. 하수구 생선이나 먹자꾸나. 트위치가 좋아하는 하수구
We found
생선이란다.
the little girl and she told us her tale. She used to live in the orphanage where Janusz was in charge, and he had stayed right there with the kids as he had promised. When the robots came to take them away, he refused to leave their side. He held their hands as they all stood together. Then the robot guards led them all away. Even though the resistance could have saved Janusz, even though he could have escaped, he kept his promise. And he went along with the children into the flying train. It took off, and none of them were ever seen again. But this little girl, she was the only one who got away. And now she was talking about a couple on the other side of the wall. Somehow she knew that if she could get to them, they would adopt her and perhaps change her color. Then she would be safe. Her eyes brimmed with hopeful tears as she said, maybe they would adopt you too as well.
꼬마 여자애가 하수구 생선도 잡아준다고. 가자. 하수구 아니야 여기? 안돼! 여자애를 하필 여자애를 잡아놨어. 구해주러 가야겠구만. 여자애 안 구해줘? 하수구까지 감시라고 앉았어. 꼬마애는 안 구하니? 그냥 가니? 너네만 탈출하니? 슬퍼하면 끝이니? 모든 사람을 구할 순 없긴 하지. 갑자기 하늘을 날기 시작했어. 하수구도 아니고. 안녕하세요. 나 남자애는 가고 여자애는 안 돼. 가버려. 이렇게 헤어지게 됐구만.
The couple were keen to make my friend part of their
빨간색이
lives. I was
되면서까지
so glad
함께
for her.
살아줬는데.
She would be safe at last in the world beyond the wall, but there was only room for one child. So it was time for the two of us to part. We had come through so much together. She took out the photograph of the two of us, the one that had been taken on the last day before the invasion. She tore it in two, so we'd both have half, to remind us of each other. Then she went away, and I never saw her again. After that, I had many more adventures, of course, but that is all a story for another time, perhaps. And maybe one day, I told the girl in my bookstore, you will hear it, my dear. She was looking at me thunderstruck.
손녀딸이나 뭐 그런 거 아니야?
I've heard that story before, she said, about the
그러니까
girl
똑같이
and the
생겼지.
boy and the photograph from my grandma. Downstairs, the shop doorbell rang.
엔딩을 보면 되는 것인가? 그때 그 시절, 그 힘든 시절을 함께했던 그 친구.
There was some kind of magic at work, perhaps. Magic that brought her grandmother to my door that very night. We went downstairs, and I saw her waiting. At first, I froze. The girl pushed me closer, and then I recognized my friend. We hugged, and all that time simply dropped away. After all the adventures and the changes that everyone must face, we were the same two kids all over again. That's what I mean when I say life can still surprise us on even very ordinary days. And now my story is done. I dedicate it to anyone who's been forced to part from their loved ones and who has survived long enough to see them again.
띵작이다 띵작. 이런 게 띵작이지.